Hello and welcome to this edition of Escapades Excel Tips. Today we're going to be looking at data validation, or what may be commonly referred to as a in-cell drop-down box. Drop-down boxes are very useful for when you need a standardized entry in a list. For instance, here we have a sales list. We've got our list of customers that we're going to be calling, a list of their phone numbers, and we want to record what their responses were to our call. And we could go in there and type in that we left a message, but let's say later on we forget how exactly we worded it, or perhaps there's more than one user using this particular sheet, and for whoever called Susan, they abbreviated it. They just said left message. Or perhaps we misspell something. For instance, instead of left, we say let message. So all these things make it difficult to accurately quantify sales, calls, things like that. So an in-cell drop-down box helps you to keep all the responses, all the entries standard. And so to do that, I'm going to just go ahead and clear this. The first thing you want to do is to create your list of options. So we're going to go over here to cell I1, just kind of out of the way a little bit. And let's say we left a message. The person said, no thanks. Let's say they said yes, we'll send in a check. Or, let me go ahead and give you my credit card number. Okay, so there's our list of responses. Now we want to highlight the section that we want the data validation or drop-down boxes in. So we're going to go ahead and just select this entire area. And then up in the data ribbon, under data tools, we're going to say data validation. So we'll go ahead and click that. Now in the dialog box that pops up, under allow, you're going to want to choose list from this drop-down section. So we'll say list. And then it wants to know, okay, where is your list? Where is the list of options that you want me to use? So in the source box here, you click on this, and then just go out and highlight your list. And there it says your list is in I1 to I4. So we'll go ahead and say OK. So now with each of these, you notice a little drop-down arrow appears whenever you click on that box. So for John, we called him up. He said, no thanks, not interested. For Susan, sure, I'll send you a check. Bob gave us a credit card number, and Thomas, he said no thanks. So with each of those, you've got that drop-down section. If you wanted it to continue on, let's say your sheet goes down farther, simply copy this, which I'm all about keyboard shortcuts, so we're going to do a Control-C to copy that. And actually, let me back up here. I'm going to copy this top one here to illustrate something. Do a Control-C, and then highlight where we want to paste that validation in. Now I could do one of two things. I could either just do a straight paste, Control-V. But as you can see, that overrides all the responses or puts in that no thanks into everything, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to undo that, Control-Z. Instead, I'm going to right-click and say Paste Special, and then I'm going to choose Validation and say OK. And now that same validation is continued down as far as I need it to go. Lastly, let's say I come up with another option that I want included in my responses. Perhaps I'm getting a lot of customers that say, hey, now is not a good time. Can you call back later? So I'm gonna add that to my list of options. I'll call back later. Then come in here and click on one of the cells. Let's say, for instance, C6. I'm going to go up to data validation. And in the source, here, as you notice, it's not including that callback later option. I'm just going to re-highlight my source, so now that it does include that last option. Now, on the bottom here, you'll see apply these changes to all other cells with the same settings. If you click this, it will automatically make those changes to other cells that have that same data validation. So it's a very handy little little checkbox. I'm going to say OK. So now, if I go in, I'm going to add another customer here. Put in his phone number. Now that drop-down box has that last option, that call back later. So that's it for this edition. Thanks for stopping by.